Five Nights at Freddy's, the movie. Me and you have had, we both have two very different opinions on it, because you talked that movie up so much, and then I went to it and I wanted to strangle you after I wasted money.
I guess we should bring out our what our opinions are. I guess starting off with me here. I thought the FNAF movie was pretty good, at least from my point of view. I thought it was pretty good. As a fan of FNAF, I thought they did a good job for what they had. It's had its problems, and I definitely do have problems that we both agree on. But I felt good walking out of the movie theater, which kind of leads into yours. Which, if we're kind of opposed here, then everyone kind of knows where your stance is.
Yeah. So when we went to it, like, okay, so first off, like, I don't know all the lore. There is so much lore to Five Nights at Freddy, whether it's fan or whatever, right? Yeah. So I'm not all caught up on all that. However, I grew up with Five Nights at Freddy's, right? Like, there were people who left the movie theater at a certain scene. And by the way, there are going to be spoilers in this. So if you haven't seen it yet and you don't want spoilers, I guess you can leave. But the scene that people left the theaters. Yeah, the scene that irritated me was the making the fort with the animatronics. I have a lot of issues with the movie, to be quite honest, but that's where people like actually got up and left the theater. And why they made a PG-13 is beyond me. They missed a huge golden opportunity, because there has not been like a legit badass horror movie in forever. And Five Nights at Freddy, they could have done it, and they didn't. I guess that's where I'm at with that.
Okay. I guess if we really want to get into it, I guess the best way to start off is let's start off positive. Let's say what we liked.
The animatronics looked fantastic for what they did. They could have done a little better, made them a little bit more scary, but at the same time, like, this is like, they're not supposed to be all tore up and raggedy, right? I thought they did fantastic on the looks.
No, the looks of the animatronics, I feel like they were done absolutely spectacularly. Like, I don't really, how to describe it. It's like they really did bring the animatronics from the first game to life. Made them look a little more, I guess, how do I describe it? Gentler than I expected, I guess, if you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's kind of what you're going off, just like, I guess it kind of went off the idea that, like, these things are supposed to be entertaining children, right? Of course, they look a little cutesy in a lot of different scenes, right?
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
It just feels like with the first game, right? The idea of it all was, if they turn off the lights, right? All of a sudden, these animatronics that usually look pretty like, you know, normal things that you can understand why would entertain a child, right? That's something that you don't want to run into at all. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't really feel all that much like that. I don't know if that describes it, if you know what I'm saying. They don't have that same energy. They still look good.
And, you know, I if they do make a second one, which, you know, you've told me they've already started production or something like that on it. I really hope they put a little bit more into them. And more into their writing. And make it actually a horror movie would be...
Here's the thing. We'll go... With that, I just really do wish they could make it a horror movie. I didn't walk out of the experience feeling, you know, that horror movie experience.
Yeah, well, and, you know, even like later on when we move on to the One Piece stuff, we're gonna, you know, we'll touch a lot more on like the writing aspects and changes and reaching broader audiences and stuff. But they could have done much better with Five Nights at Freddy's. Like,
in terms of, I guess we can just, besides just the animatronics,
Another thing I like. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Another thing I would say that I did enjoy is, surprisingly enough, I felt the pizzeria design was not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah, no, the place actually, I thought they did pretty good. The other thing I did like about the movie, well, I know there was controversy, like over the eyes when everybody first found out they weren't, like the glowing red. But honestly, like the way they did even the looks of the animatronics when they were apparently like being controlled, attack mode and stuff, like I thought they did pretty well with that. I that didn't bother me near as much as people were making it out to be. I think now that's my opinion, of course. Like, yeah. Well, the other thing is like the red eyes can also be overdone. Like, like. And that's where I wish they would have kept the silver eyes and stuff like they did in the game, because like if Five Nights at Freddy's, like that would be it. Yep. Like but that's where they change things to meet a broader audience. Well, the problem when you try to reach a broader audience to bring people in is they have to be able to come into the Five Nights at Freddy world, and if they go off the movies, they're gonna start like playing the games or whatever. They're gonna be like, this is not as friendly as I thought it was gonna be. So it's almost like misleading, if that I guess that's the way I put that.
You don't walk out of the FNAF movie feeling like if you ever do go into the games, you're gonna walk into an actual horror experience, if that makes sense. Which kind of goes into just like I get it, FNAF's a series with, especially nowadays, it's definitely made with kids in mind, you know what I'm saying?
Which is a shame.
Because I think there's so much more you can do with the series.
Like, obviously, everybody knows who King of FNAF is, Markiplier. I would rather watch Markiplier play the original games than Security Breach. Oh yeah, Matt Pats was pretty funny.
I will say,
but he had everybody fooled on that. He had everybody fooled.
I did not. I heard the voice and I was kind of like, wait a minute, that sounds kind of familiar, right?
He was posting like all the time, like, oh no, I'm not in it. And then when everybody went to the movie, like, that motherfucker.
That's the thing. It's so much funnier when you think about it, because he was talking about how like, oh yeah, no, all these other big FNAF creators got into the movie, but not me, right? Which is just like, it's like, wow, damn, okay, FNAF. Oh, okay, Matt Pat, sorry about that.
I think there was so many missed opportunities. I'm kind of done with my parts of the stuff I like, because I'm ready to kind of get nitty and gritty.
Gotcha.
With this, unless you have more that you liked.
And I know you were kind of iffy on Josh Hutcherson's performance as Mike, but I felt pretty good about it. I think he did a solid job with what he had. And I guess if there's technically one other thing I did like, I don't usually care for child actors. They're just not that good, but I don't know, Mike's sister, I forget her name.
Now, I will say this movie's been out for a while, and this review and talking about but I didn't want to make rash decisions, because if I would have been on live stream right after I watched it, I would have been banned from YouTube, because I was so mad at this movie. It's my fault, like I didn't really look. I was just like, hey, Five Nights at Freddy's out. I didn't watch, I did see the trailer, but like I didn't pay attention to it actually being like a PG-13 movy.
I guess technically one other thing that we both did agree that we liked was William Afton's actor. The guy.
Oh yeah.
He did good. The only complaint is that I just wish they gave him more. You know
and I wasn't upset with Mike's performance. It's just the way they wrote the characters, I think, is what bothered me the most. And yes, the Markiplier was supposed to be the first security guard, which honestly, if he wasn't, I did watch Markiplier do an interview or put something out where the reason why he didn't is he was in the middle of making Iron Lung, and he couldn't take the time. But if he would have been in the first scene of that movie, being the guard that died first, that would have been the movie for me. It would have been pure gold.
Opening the FNAF movie with Markiplier, that would have like like theaters would have burned down. That's
And like
how
when I found out that was the part, like I pictured him like how he would have changed that up. So are we done with the likes? I want to be.
Yeah, no,
I don't want to mix. I want to be kind of, all right, time to, now these are our opinions on this, but biggest thing, the biggest wasted character in the whole movie was the cop. The most useless character in that movie.
I have my complaints with her. I don't think she's the absolute
I'm talking
worst
about
character.
like in that movie. She threw the pills.
I think she's a bad part of the movie most of the time.
She was super confusing. Like that's where I'm like, you might as well just got rid of her. The movie would have made more sense.
My biggest thing with her is that she just seems so, like, how do I describe it? 1 second she cares about Mike, and the other second she's
Just like threatening to kill him.
yeah, no, and it's like, you know that your dad's a serial killer, right? And you know that he is likely had the animatronics kill a few security guards at this point, right?
Yeah.
It just feels like she's I don't know. It just feels like she's too uncautious around the death robots. You know what I'm saying?
When they made the forts, me and my buddy, we just looked at each other and like, are we at a FNAF movie or is this, like, what is this? But
I guess we can just jump around all over the place. It's fine.
with her character, right? Like the other thing that irritated me is at the end of the movie, right? Afton's like, you had one job. To keep him oblivious to the situation and everything, right? But when there was a break-in, like the whole break-in thing also just, it was stupid. Like, I'm coming to your house even though I was there with you all night and now you're off duty, someone broke in, but it's your fault.
It just feels like it's kind of like,
And
yeah,
if-
no.
And if she was supposed
Why?
to keep him oblivious to the situation, then they could have just cleaned it up and he wouldn't have even known.
That's the thing, like
That to me, that's bad writing. Just like when, like you were talking about, like they were playing with the animatronics. She was having the time of her life, and then she's like, "If you ever bring your sister here again, I will shoot you."
it just feels like she's like a different character in every other scene that she's in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and we've watched a lot of people, and a lot of people have come to the same opinion on as us with the why is his brother dead? Like Afton killed the children at Fazbear's.
Yeah,
But
no,
it's
that's the thing. It just feels like, why is Michael's brother? Why did William just like randomly go to the forest one day and just go like, "Hey, yo,
I feel like
is that a 10-year-old I can kill?"
yeah, like it was weird, and I don't know how, like, why.
And he just randomly killed like some 10-year-old. It's just like, it just feels. I feel like the biggest the way you could have repaired this, right, is just do what they did in the games, right, and have his little brother become Golden Freddy, the blonde kid, like the leader of the troop, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. Like, he's not even an animatronic.
It's weird with Golden Freddy in general.
I guess someone told me, I'm not gonna name him, but they said their theory is that his brother is gonna wind up being Balloon Boy with all the little hints to Balloon Boy.
I guess it's possible, but it just feels like, I don't know why like, because there is going to be a second movie. Let's be real here. The next movie is coming out. It's coming out in like very soon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're gonna cash in on that money cow because they made money off of this. You know what I'm saying?
It almost felt to me like it was just poorly written for a cash grab, and that's disappointing. Like I love Five Nights at Freddy's. To finally see a movie and for me to be that disappointed over it just is a big letdown. Because the other thing, it came out around Halloween. Like, I wasn't even putting Halloween and PG-13 for Five Nights at Freddy together. Like, there was no concept of that for me. And that's my fault. I should have paid attention.
No, it just, there's a big thing that a lot of different FNAF fans are split up on, right?
Yeah.
And I would say there are the side of the fandom where we are at, where we believe this movie should have been rated R. You know what I'm saying? Just give it all the work that it could ever get. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
The other side of the FNAF fandom is actually okay with it and thinks that it would take away from this series. I'm not sure about that. I don't think it's right.
Well, and you had
the point in terms of that the FNAF series nowadays has moved very much far away from its origins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and that was the other thing that I guess I really didn't think of until someone brought it up. The whole concept of Five Nights at Freddy's, right? The jump scares. There was like two
jump scares,
and they really weren't even jump scares. And I was just so sad. Like I said, there really hasn't been like a great horror movie forever. And like Foxy's charging down the hallway, they could have made that terrifying. Instead, they like showed it for 2 seconds, and Mike survived it, but the first dude didn't, and he got caught because he was kind of beat up.
No, Mike would have been, in all intents and purposes, Mike should have died there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The other thing is, I kind of get why they did it, because I mean, you can't have a security guard staring at cameras and closing doors for an entire movie, but they could have at least done it once.
No, I get it. It felt like, just give us like, I don't know, like 10 minutes of Mike like having to actually survive a night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, especially
I think more,
the next night after he found out the animatronics were alive. Like, that would have been the perfect time to do it. Anybody would find out animatronics are being haunted by the souls of dead children, and I'm gonna go to sleep.
Yeah.
He slept that whole movie, and I was super disappointed in that. It's like, this is not Five Nights at Freddy. Like, what you did is you took characters and said, screw the base of the platform. Because I think he actually looks at the cameras like twice.
Like twice, yeah.
Two, maybe a couple more times than that, but it was super disappointing. And I guess the creator of Five Nights at Freddy was, like, approved this movie, and it's just sad. Because here's the thing, if you're trying to reach like minors, like 15-year-olds, I was going to horror movies with my parents when I was a kid. I love horror movies. I love horror games. My channel is mainly based around horror games. They could have still went with their parents.
No, it does feel like they really just did leave, like, because if my big theory with it all, right, with the movie,
okay,
is that this movie was made with the new gen of FNAF fans. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking those with like security breach and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I understand. I got you. I'm tracking.
Which kind of, it kind of explains why the movie took so long to come out, because
they were making it for like 6 years or something like that, right?
He started talking about the movie.
Yeah, but it's been held up with a lot of like red tape or something like that, Hollywood politics or some crap. My idea, and where I'm going with this, is that I feel like Scott Cawthon, when he originally talked about making a FNAF movie, right? Because mind you, this is when he was doing FNAF 1, FNAF 2, you know what I'm saying? He was in that phase of his game making. I have an idea that he probably wanted to make a very different movie, but as of right now, he just, Well, it's all about the money. And who's...
Hello, I like money.
Who's gonna
make more money, yeah.
Whoever's flipping the main bill is gonna want to be like, okay, we need to hit a broad audience. The other prime example, which I don't know if you've seen it, I finally watched it. I wish I never would have watched it.
Yeah, not good, right?
No, and it's all about that. The people who are kind of running the show, they want it their way. So that is a possibility.
It's just so weird that Scott Cawthon was in on this. You know what I'm saying? It has his stamp of approval. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and even if he's in, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if he was like fully okay with this, like, this is supposed to be the first movie, which to me should go off the beginning of where you started out with. Terrifying. Like those games.
Have it emulate that.
Those games, like when you looked at the camera and you seen Foxy running down, you freaked out and hoped you could push the door button fast enough. Like,
it's not even just that. It's like stuff like just seeing like Freddy just like in the dark, and you just see only like the pupils of his eyes. Like that's the only thing you can see, and they're staring right back at you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, like I've seen TikTok shorts that people have made from Five Nights at Freddy that are fantastic.
It's wasted potential. That's what it feels like deep down
Yeah.
to me. I say this with the idea that I like the movie, but there's so much that could have been better. And I know for a fact that if I didn't have the bias of, and if I didn't know all the lore and little stuff they strewn in between all this, right?
Yeah.
That I probably would have walked out of the theater not liking it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, can we get to the elephant? The big elephant in the room. Afton's death was pathetic.
That was one I wanted to talk about. William Afton's death. A death that is quite literally like...
Iconic?
Not just iconic, it's like one of the most pivotal moments of like the entire series, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yet we're just, it feels like he got like, I don't know. It feels like Matthew Lillard just like, you know, went outside, took a jog and came back and like he was like breathing real heavy. Because, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, they did show like each spring trap, like breaking into it. It was supposed to be like he was taking it like a champ.
No, he really did not make it out to be like, you know.
It's like he was going through a bad piercing. That's what I can best describe it as.
It just doesn't feel like that he's in all that much pain. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like in the game, even if like we only see the death animation inside like Atari style, right? They really do emulate how fucking bad of a death this is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Shop said it was supposed to be the most gruesome and horrific thing.
No, like blood spewing all over the place. William Afton was literally stabbed, and like it's like a gruesome, brutal, horrific death. It should not.
Like,
but
and then he's like, "I'll be back. I always come back." And it's like, what? This is the first time you're dying.
It's William Afton's phrase, right? That he always comes back, right? Because he always does come back.
And that's where, like, I understand you love the lore, like you know most of that and everything, and that's where I can understand. They threw a lot of lore. I think they threw too much, way too fast.
I think it's for me personally, that's just like, if you go with the pace with FNAF, with the FNAF games in terms of lore, that's about as close as you're gonna get to the FNAF lore pace without like going absolutely sicko mode. I don't think it's great. It definitely could have gone better, but like, I don't know, just you live with the lore for so long that you just kind of know how it works. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But the thing is like when you're trying to do movies, and especially like something like FNAF, you need to set yourself up for multiple movies, because that is a franchise that you can definitely do that with.
I mean, hell, they are. So they have something here. It's just a matter of what the fuck are they gonna do now?
Yes, I agree.
Because there's a lot they could do for the next movie.
Carlos.
I want to go straight just to the third movie in terms of where we're going, right?
Okay.
And have Springtrap, William Afton's new undead persona, right? Have that be our main villain, right? And lean into the ending of the first movie when we see William Afton in his full glory, right? Going out, acting psychotic and everything, right?
Okay. I'm tracking. I like it.
And have him be like a slasher villain. You know what I'm saying? Just go around, you know what I'm saying?
Like a Michael Myers.
Yeah, have him be a psycho villain. You know what I'm saying? Let Matthew Lillard give him more screen time. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only villain that I felt interested in. You know what I'm saying?
And it would have even been pretty cool if, like, when they went into attack mode, that their body changed. Like, all of a sudden, all the parts are falling off them or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
I get you.
They could have done something like that. I think that would have made it a little better. It's 50% of the people loved it, and 50% of the people were like, what the hell? But the majority of people, you know, it was confusing, and that's why, like, me and you, we've talked about it a few times, and we were like, we should really do this on a live stream and talk about this, but let's give it some time to kind of really see.
Yeah.
And we rewatched it, and for it being a PG-13 movie and their fan base that they were going for, I will say it was good. However, with
what you had in mind, what you wanted going in.
yeah, but like us, we started picking it apart. Like, okay, well, the writing didn't make sense. Like, the part where the one chick gets bit in half, but later on, that's the part that you see was the part that should have been completely destroyed. Was her upper torso, like that, like stuff like that. I guess my rating on it would be, for their target audience and everything, I would give it a 7 out of 10. Me, with like the first parts of FNAF, I give this like a 3.
No, I think it's completely fair. I would say, with my bias in mind and knowing what they're going for, I would say it's probably 7 out of 10 for me, right?
Okay.
Especially because I walked out of that theater really happy, but the second time I watched it, the more I stewed it over, you know what I'm saying, there's definitely problems. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
but if I did not have that FNAF bias, if I did not have that bias as a fan, I would probably rate it a 3 as well.
What do you think? Do you think there should have been more kind of action scenes with the animatronics? Because there was, like, the whole movie was kind of boring to me a little bit with the character building of Mike.
I get why they have to develop Mike, right? Because Mike isn't a defined character in the FNAF, the game series, all that much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get that.
He barely does it. He does a lot, but we don't get to see who he is as a person. You know what I'm saying? Michael Apton's just a silent protagonist that we play as. You know what I'm saying? But it does feel like they do go a little bit in. I didn't go into the FNAF movie expecting to hear about, you know, the moral dilemmas of what's it called? Of child services. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. I just didn't really want to know like every single little bit about Michael's life, right?
Yeah. I can't remember her name, but the aunt, the actress who plays the aunt, she does such a good evil step-aunt. Is the nicest way I can put that. She
I'm an
was
evil.
great.
I'm an evil aunt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It just kind of, there was a lot of kind of like, what is happening? Like, this is supposed to be a FNAF movie. You know what I mean? Like,
the biggest part for me that I found, and I would say, unfortunately, it's probably gonna have to be the fourth scene as well. I get what they're going for, right? I get what they're going for in terms of, yeah, these are kids inside the animatronics, right?
yeah.
A fact that's very much forgotten about by a lot of FNAF fans, right? At the beginning of this series all began on the fact of a serial killer stuffing children's bodies inside of animatronics. Now they possess it, right? The animatronics are gonna act like kids a lot of the time, right? But I don't mind having the animatronics act like kids because there's kids in there, right? Please, for the love of God, don't do it with them. Like, it kind of just took away all the tension with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like these are supposed to be terrifying animatronics. Like, what?
Like, let me do it like this. Like, imagine if you had Michael Myers, right? Big threatening dude, killing everyone, right? But then he just, like, I don't know, in the middle of the movie, just like starts like a dance contest with the protagonists of the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, what? I mean, that's like something that you would see in the parody movies.
Now it just feels like, okay, why are we even threatened by him at this point? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I feel like if they would have actually, like, made an actual horror movie, they would have done a lot more. They would have done a lot better in the box office.
No, that just kind of... It just...
Because there definitely wouldn't have been a scene like that.
And that's the thing, like, I don't mind them acting like kids, right? Like, just have them, like, I don't know, like...
Yeah, but how to do it with themselves. During the break-in, perfect scene, just came up with it. They're, like, playing a game, whoops, I hit my mic. Playing with each other and everything, and then the people break in and they stop what they're doing, like, like a stupid tea party or something, you know?
But also keep the threat alive that, oh yeah, these things are also fucking killing people. You know?
Yeah, they're friendly to each other. And then the other thing is, like, they wanted to take his sister and make her into them.
That scene
it's supposed
never
to be,
really...
It's supposed to be Afton that does that, right? Like,
you know what I'm saying? That's
and what did you think about being kind of the whole controlled by pictures on a wall?
William Afton never really controlled the kids in the game, so it's like, you know, I don't really have a good... They kind of hinted to it in the beginning of the movie, how, like, Abby, that's her name, Abby, and her teacher's like, oh yeah, kids that age, they emulate, like, their thoughts, emotions, understanding through pictures in the beginning of the movie, right? So, like, I understand what they're going for in terms of, like, okay. It definitely could have been a lot more dumb, if that makes sense.
Well, see, and my whole thing is with, you know, that, right? The kids weren't stupid. The animatronic ghosts, like when he goes into his dreams and stuff and sees them, like, they're devious little shits. They had a mission and they weren't gonna stop, but they're controlled by pictures because they're immature at their age, even though, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard for...
I get what you're saying here.
Like,
if I had my way about it, right? Personally, the way I would have it done, right? The kids don't know who was behind the who was Springtrap, right? They just know there's some guy in a yellow rabbit suit killed them, right? Maybe have it so William is leading them on this entire time, right? Outside of the suit, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't know William is the guy who did them in, you know what I'm saying? Have them slowly be led on by William, right? And I don't know, does William loses control of them? I don't know. The kids figure out the truth or whatever, right? He puts on the suit, and then that's what kills him in the end, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, just something like that.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is, like the original Five Nights at Freddy games, like, I put those into, like, the terror and the category of, like, Poppy Playtime, you know? And if someone made a Poppy Playtime movie, which they could, and I would absolutely love, but if they had these things being all sweet and innocent, I would delete the games.
It just feels like they forget the point of the the point, you know what I'm saying?
How it started. Like, I get it, you know, security breach is not that scary. A lot of missed opportunities in the FNAF movie, and someone told me that they're thinking that since they did so well in the box office, that now they'll actually have the funds and the resources to make an actual horror movie of it for part 2.
And I'm not gonna say budget doesn't do a lot of movies in, you know what I'm saying? There are plenty of movies that just get fucked over by budget and just, you know.
Yeah, but there's a lot of B movies that just the way it was written and the story played out that make it just great.
That's where I'm going, right?
Yeah, I enjoyed Saw. That concept was terrifying.
That first Saw movie, the budget for it was like, I think it wasn't much. It was only like a few million, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They filmed the entire movie in a single.
Well, and
so
that's where
it just feels disappointing.
Yeah, and now I don't even watch them when they come out because I think they've just been overdone.
But yeah,
that's my personal opinion on those movies. But no, the first few Saws were great, and I'm not hating on people that enjoyed the movie, you know, because I know you really enjoyed it. You talked it up, and that's what I was like, oh, well, actually, I will actually finally go to a movie in theaters, and I will watch it. And then I came out with a very different opinion, because it's when I see and think Five Nights at Freddy, it's the first. And there's a lot of fan-made games out there, man, that are terrifying.
That's the thing here. That's the thing. I didn't want to talk about it, and I kind of agree with what FNAF fans are saying here in terms of, like, the horror scene on YouTube, what they do with FNAF, right? Analog horror, VHS style horror, you know what I'm saying? That's what I think of when I think FNAF in terms of what the horror should be, you know what I'm saying? Because it feels like fans know what FNAF was, you know what I'm saying? The fans that grew up with FNAF, the old generation of FNAF, starting with FNAF 1, right? They knew what made FNAF FNAF, right? The horror of it all, the like essentially the Greek tragedy of these children. You know what I'm saying? And these series on YouTube really do feel like that, like they care about it and they know why FNAF fans watch it. Instead, we get like kind of like the most family-friendly horror movie you could ever make, and it's just kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying like do like blood, gore, like crazy shit all over the place. You know what I'm saying?
I'd be okay with it.
I'd be okay with it, but when people hear we just want blood, gore, violence all over the place, right?
Well, so
No.
the main reason why I'd want to see like a mangled body is because you never see that in the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's always your imagination, like, man, how bad would they have actually like messed me up? And then having the visuals.
Like,
And they
see-
tried with the whole one bite and you're bit in half, which honestly was
It
just how
shocked
they
me because
played
the
it
movie
off.
the movie like did not show like anyone getting killed in terms of like, it didn't shock me in terms of how bad it was. No, I thought it was but I was just shocked in terms of like, oh, we've been just like going off screen whenever someone dies and then like, you know, just show us getting.
And like there was just so much like
Untapped missed potential. I mean, like, Mike's like a kind of blank slate character that didn't really need to be characterized, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, but at the same time it gets you to relate to him.
We need a main character, you know what I'm
But
saying?
who in their right mind would be like, oh, there's ghosts controlling animatronics?
And just like go to sleep. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
like I would quit my job.
Yeah. Straight up, if I hear that, oh yeah, ghost children are haunting the animatronics, and I see them, it's not just like people saying it, like I see them moving around and everything like that, I'm out. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
like you're a cop and you know that these are the murdered children of your father?
Yeah. And you're just not arresting them. That's the biggest thing with Vanessa. She's a cop, right?
The only cop in that town. But I want to add. It's like Deadpool. You know, it's like, oh, you know, that scene where he's at the mansion and he's like, oh, it's like the studio couldn't afford more X-Men.
Oh yeah.
If you need one, hit me up. I will come and be a background character.
I feel like they didn't do enough with her character at all in terms of like, she's a cop, right?
Okay? Yeah.
And she knows that her dad is a serial killer, right? Maybe do something with that, you know what I'm saying? Maybe make the reason why Vanessa's a cop is because her dad's a serial killer, right? Like she wants to bring some justice to him or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Or
There
just-
should be no love lost. I mean, he stabbed her. It's
It
just
just feels-
a lot of missed opportunities.
It just feels like Vanessa's a cop, so the entire reason why Vanessa's a cop is so that she has a good reason to knock on a door at a pizzeria at like 3 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I don't know.
she was there. And then when she threw his pills, I was like, what? Like, you're, what? Yeah, they're prescribed. They're prescription meds. And you're
It's not
just literally, like, what is that, a felony? But it's all right. She's protecting a killer. So I guess, you know, laws aren't exactly like she gives a shit about them. She was all over the place. And I don't blame the actress for that. I 100%
writing.
believe is the writing.
It really is just a writing issue.
Yeah, they kind of did her dirty on that.
Vanessa's an important character, right?
Yeah.
And not just in the movie, just in the series in general right now, right? Again, it just feels like she just, like the rest of the movie in general, she's a lot of missed potential, you know what I'm saying? Again, like, I don't know, just give us more, I mean, I don't want to say more time with her because she's in the movie a lot, you know what I'm saying? But make that time different, you know what I'm saying? Here's a scene that completely, like, I don't know, recontextualizes the fort scene, you know what I'm saying? My thought process is, right? Maybe have Vanessa, like, initially, like, play along, like, as she does in the movie, right? But then when she says, oh yeah, let me grab, like, I don't know, it was like, I don't know, something from the back, right? I think it was like tablecloth or whatever, right?
Yeah, it was something like that.
Have her start freaking the fuck out and telling Mike, listen, we gotta play the fuck along or else Abby's dead, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't just drag her out, you know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna kill us. You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah,
have
well,
her
and you're not safe anywhere because the animatronics can show up where you live.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, just like play along right now. You know what I'm saying? Because like, make it seem like the animatronics are a threat. You know what I'm saying? Like, just recontextualize that entire fort scene in the minds of the audience. Doesn't have to be for Abby. Abby can still believe that they're friendly. I think just a little touch like that would have helped not just Vanessa, but the movie in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, have Vanessa know that. Oh yeah, like, I mean, she stated that she's been going to the pizzeria a while now. You know what I'm saying? She's been have her go in with the mind that these are like that she knows that these are like murder machines. You know what I'm saying? And
well,
if you really want the fourth thing, just like recontextualize it, make it so like, oh yeah, we have to play along or else we're fucking dead.
See, I don't even know. I think the fort scene should have just been completely nixed, because the whole concept, even in the newer games, the only one like security breach, the only one that was friendly was Freddy. Everyone else, if they would chase you and try to kill you. So the whole fort scene, I honestly just think that was just a slap in the face.
Yeah. We still have the back of the mind that William Afton's a character that exists, right? But we don't really, we don't have that for the entire movie. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree. Well, and like if you wanted any of them to be kind of friendly and you wanted to kind of mash like where your games are at now versus in the beginning of FNAF, I want to help you because I know you love your sister. But the others want to.
The others want you out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're gonna kill you, and I'm gonna have to go along with it. So I'm willing to help you, but you got to do this and this for me or something. You know. However, I just spitballed that, and it took me what 3 seconds to come up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you got writers and the game creator, like it's where it's as you when you told me that the creator actually was part of this, I have just such a hard time believing that. It's because like your games are so good, there's so much lore, and then where the hell did you go with this?
Yeah, no, where it just feels like, why the hell, how did the hell did this get generated from your mind? When
like if you made a half-ass game that for the next continuation of a Five Nights at Freddy game, like people would be pissed.
People would be. It would just feel I feel like this is their one real time of getting away with it, and this was definitely more of a, okay, we're gonna release it and see how it goes. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, no, that's
like now they don't have any excuses in terms of like budget in terms or something like that. They know this is gonna work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they should have no problems doing getting enough funds to. You're not gonna. This was like almost like a serious movie yet a parody.
Sometimes it really does feel like, okay, they're trying here. You know what I'm saying?
Like with her character, like coming, like actually thinking about it, it's like, man, did I just get done watching Scary Movie 3? I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to shit on it so bad, it's too hard, but it's hard not to when you just do better in the second one. Like even if you're gonna keep it PG-13, work on your writing and actually like think things through. Like if you're gonna have the top half of someone get crushed and ripped off and everything, let's not show that as the part that they find. Like the chase scene with Boxy was just disappointing. I was so mad about that. And I guess it happened so fast, but I actually had to watch someone talk about it. Foxy actually didn't even run. Like if you go frame, he broke it down frame for frame.
Oh yeah,
Foxy teleports to him, and it's like, why?
Show us that he just fucking starts legging it at you. You know what I'm saying?
And make it terrifying.
I don't know, like maybe like make it so he's like an unstoppable force. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever someone throws at him just like bounces off, and he's like a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like those kitchen metal racks that hold utensils and stuff, and like he's trying to run and he knocks that down, and Foxy don't even give a shit. And it just runs, crushes it right, like
have him be like an unstoppable machine. You know what I'm saying?
He got away from Foxy. Technically, he didn't, but he survived, which is how. What? And then he wakes up. Vanessa was her name, right?
Yeah, Vanessa.
She's taking care of him. So how the hell, if the animatronics can leave the building and go kill the evil Step-on, and kidnap your sister that they can't walk out the door because apparently you passed the fuck out.
Yeah, no. Like,
right outside the door.
Like, I get it, you need Mike alive so that the rest of the movie can occur.
You want the chase scene? Have him look at the camera and just see Foxy bolting. And he's like, oh, I gotta slam the door or something. Like, then you get that aspect of Five Nights at Freddy.
Just give us like that little touch of like, yeah, no, Foxy's
like show some love to the original fans where you started. But yeah,
because like the animatronics in general, in terms of how they act, I do like in terms of that. Weirdly enough, I don't know. Foxy does have the highest body count, which I mean,
it's Foxy.
Yeah, no, I can live with that. That's pretty. I'd accept that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like how Chica just throws her cupcake at everyone. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the cupcake can move on its own. It's not going to be like something Halloween. It's like, oh yeah, man, we should watch Five Nights at Freddy. It's not going to be anything. It probably won't ever be open.
We're probably gonna watch it one day because we're all just gonna be like, oh yeah, let's. Well, I don't know, random movie. Put it in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not gonna be something that's like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
But also, like, I get where they're going. I said I did like this movie, and I do still like this movie. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that's completely fine. There's a lot of people that like the movie, and that's completely fine. This is just our opinions, and you know, we're nobodies, so like, just do you. It's just I thought it could have been a lot better. Should have been a lot better.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah. I guess just like one finishing thought with FNAF before we go forward. Deep down, I just gotta say we gotta wait for the second movie. That's really where I feel like it's gotta go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. You had your freebie to see how it would perform. You had that. Now it's time to start putting some real effort in.
You get this one freebie. But if you mess up again, it's not really gonna. You know what I'm saying? There's not going to be a whole lot saving you there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you mess up, you better just call Markiplier and have him help you make the movie.
Just have him do the work, as we know that he would be able to do it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was like disappointed that he couldn't make it into that movie to like be part of it. He fucking loves Five Nights. I would really love to know his thoughts on the movie. Like, honest to God thoughts. Huh?
Has he given out his thoughts on the
movie? I don't think he has. The only thing I've seen him is saying that he wishes he would have been able to make time to. But yeah, no, I agree. Gotta wait for the second movie. My overall that I'm gonna stick with, in my opinion, not for what they were aiming at, but just my opinion, the movie is a 3. And it's a 3 because of how well the animatronics looked. And
that's
you?
Fair. I would say, final thoughts, as a FNAF fan, 7. Looking at it as a movie, I mean, not great. Not great, probably a 5.
Okay, that's pretty fair.
That's just me going, like, if I had to, like, look at it objectively, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get that.